Hey, good Saturday morning, everyone. Welcome back to the shop. It's June 3rd, Saturday morning. Not so bright and early. I got the mess set up outside, so we're gonna go journey outside, and you get to see what we get to work on today. What it is, I've got the plane set upside down on the table. And for once, the hosta plants actually do something that I kind of like. Anyway, and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, what I'm doing is I've got to get it set up because these little gems that I fabricated in that last little clip that you saw before this clip began. I've got to get the proper angle that they need to be drilled through at. And on this little gem, you can see, there we go. I got a new collet. New collet? Yeah, sure, it's a chuck, new chuck. Because the other one, excuse me, let's try this again. Da, 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 da. Stupid pinky. Alright, I did end up buying a new chuck for the Ryobi. Because the one that comes with it is just a piece of junk. There was just so much run out on it. And to try to get a drill to go down straight, it was all over the place. It was probably about 10 to 15 thousandths run out on it. So, so I got that one off of that wonderful place called Amazon. And that one's really, it's within 2 thousandths. So, you know, I'm happy with that. So, and I wanted to get a new chuck to make sure that when these get drilled through, I don't have the, you know, I don't have the drill bit trying to wander. So I'm going to, I may end up, because I don't have a good centering drill bit, I may end up modifying an old one, and meaning I really don't want to do that. I don't have a grinding wheel. I'll make something work. Anyway, let's climb outside and I can talk to you fine folks outside, and hopefully not, I don't know. Neighbors, it's way too quiet outside right now. So here's where we're at. We got the plane sitting upside down on the table, and what I need to do is find the proper center, because I need to come down to make a mark down here by the root rib, so I can get the proper angle from here to there, and then that's going to translate into the angle I've got to drill in the little mounting bolt. So I mean, it's going to be pretty easy. It's just going to be merely me taking this measurement from here to here, and we're about 4.5 inches, 4 3/8. I just got to come 4 3/8 on this and just go ahead and make a mark down there, and then from there I'll get the camera set up in a position where you can kind of see how I'm going to make my measurements, and where we'll be getting the proper angle from. I'm thinking that it's going to be almost perfectly splitting the two spars, and if it's splitting the two spars, then it's the same exact angle for each side. And I think that I'd be able to, if it's a couple degrees off, it doesn't really matter. I can work with what I can make them the same. So anyway, I'm going to try to set you up on a stand in the hostas. See, it's holding the tail of the airplane up. So I'll see how I can get that set up, so you can watch. I may just end up, I'll figure it out. All right, I don't know how well you're going to see this. Here's the I'm trying to measure the angle, so I've got my carpenter square out. This side, so the trailing edge is at 13 degrees. Just a real simple, easy way to measure this. And then the leading edge is at 10 degrees. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up, let me back you up a little bit. Wrong way. So what I'm going to end up doing is just splitting the gap. So instead of making two of them at 10 degrees and two at 13 degrees. I'm going to make all four, you know, 11, 12 degrees, right around there. And I can work with the 2 degrees in the connecting points, the hinge points. The hinge points? No, the attachment points. I can work with that, because what I had on the original ones where it was 1/4 20 Allen head drilled through, they weren't even close. You know, you couldn't drill through. It just kept skipping off the head inside the recess on the Allen head. That's why I had to make what I made. So I'm going to go inside, bring you in, set up the drill press, and then to get 4 little attachment bolts drilled through. I'll set up this side. I'm going to eventually have to figure out where I want to drill the holes. Whoa, sorry about that. Drill the hole through here, through the anchor here, and then I've got to make, for the other wing, I've got to make one of these, because I haven't made it yet. Because I wanted to get one side completely set up, and then see if this will actually work on the left side as well as the right side. I don't even know. Can you see me? You can kind of see some of me. So I just want to see, because if this works on the, let me get you inside. I'm not used to working in a big shop, you know, Mother Earth. So my thing was, I didn't know, I don't know if this will work on the left hand side as well. And it would be nice that if it does, all I got to do is make another one of these to match. So the little mistakes I made on this, I won't make on the next one, because I just got to make it to match. So it'll make it a lot easier, less troublesome, less swear words. So let me get the drill press set up, and as soon as that's ready to go, I'll bring it back in, and let's drill some holes. All right, did a prototype on a broken piece of that's the part of the elevator. Anyway, it was 3/8 rod. You know, it's close enough for what I'm looking for. So I've got the drill press set up at 12 degrees, drilled across. As you can see, it is a little bit steeper than the 10 degrees on this side, but that little bit of play that's in it will compensate for that. And the same thing, I put it over here, and it's going to work good on the 13 degree side as well. So happy with the way the drill press is set up. Now let's bring it back in. Music that they can't. That's me, just in case you want to know who that is. Alright, anyway. Alright, so this is set up at 12 degrees. I'm going to try to use this, the same, it's basically almost 400 thousandths across the head of this bolt. Anyway, there we go. And this, sorry about that. Sorry about my broken up sentences. Sounds pretty bad. All right, this is 400 thousandths. This is 3/8, so it's about 387.5 anyway. Let's just round it up. It's 400 thousandths. So this way, when I'm tightening it up, I get a really good, you know, it's not going to let it rotate. So this will come in here. So I'm going to set up a stop block so I know how far it's got to go in, and then I'll crank it down, and then you know, drill the hole. I'm going to find something. I think I've got it upstairs. I think I got a short drill that I can use to set up, just to make the initial mark in the center of this, then come back with this, so this is not going to wander side to side, or fore and aft, because it's bad enough that it's rounded one way, but because I've got it sloped, it's going to wander all over the place. So keep your fingers crossed. I'm going to get you set up in the stand, and let's drill a hole. Alright, let's see how well this comes out. Here, Here's my little spacer, just so that this is going to come in. This slides in, so I know where this has to bottom out at. So that way all the holes will get drilled in the same spot. This is the bigger drill bit that I've got. It's a short nubby one. I just sharpened it. So it should be nice and sharp. And then this, of course, is the number 29 that I resharpened. And hopefully it'll be sharp enough. I'll find out on the first drill through. If it's dull, I'll take it back and resharpen it again. Anyway, it's going to be that. A little bit of oilio. I'm going to use some WD-40. Just because I had that in my hand. Alright, let's hope for the best. Got my little dot. Good to go. Let's pull this one out. Okay, we're set up. Throw a little bit of oil in this time. About through. There it is. Moment of truth. And alright, so anyway, let's see if I can get a better. That's better. Anyway, it's down the center. At least if I can get it so it's there. It is. So it's down the center and it's at the proper angle. So I'm going to clean this up, deburr it, and then I'll take it outside and test it with the hopes that it's going to test well. All right. What I'm going to do, the first one, it does make it a little bit tight. I'm going to show you after I get done drilling this one out. I'll bring it out, because what I may end up doing is, if this works out really good for the trailing edge, I'm just going to go ahead and lessen the angle on the leading edge part, because it's just that extra couple degrees binds it up a little bit, but not too much. You know, I mean, I don't mind a little bit of you know, push-pull, just as long as both sides are tensioning against each other. Then it's just going to make everything more rigid in a way. It'll probably less flex. But anyway, let me go ahead and I'll drill this one, and then we'll do a road trip 25 feet away. Okay, see, now that it's gotten windier outside, I have to talk louder. Alright, got everything in, got a good angle on both sides. I mean, these are going to get rounded off a little bit. Here's this one, it went through almost, you know, perfectly straight. This one was a little bit of a strange little bind, but that's fine, because the end result is that's where it's holding itself, and it's not leaning up against this side, and it's not leaning up against the other side, so that is good enough for government work. So, so I'm just going to go ahead and I'll do the same thing, drill at the same angle on the other side. Now what I'm going to do, I got to come in get a pair of pliers and straighten these back out, because I was trying to make an adjustment to see if this would work, and unfortunately it won't work, because you're not changing the angle of this, you're just changing the angle of the metal and not the angle of the bolt holes. So that was just that was a bozo maneuver. So anyway, it's easy enough to straighten out. So I'll straighten this out, I'll pick this up, bring it on over, flip it upside down, and if everything fits nicely from this side up to that point, it's good as gold. Then I just got to use this as my template and make another one, and then from there it's going to be the wing struts for the jury struts. And I'm going to go with in real life, even though I said they were made out of aluminum, a buddy of mine whose dad had one of these things, and that's where he learned to fly, except his dad was on floats. He said it's actually chromoly steel was what this was made of, and the jury strut. So I'm gonna make it out of poplar with just like down here with brass. So it's gonna have a 90-degree L bracket for brass here, and then same thing across for the one going across. It'll be little, so they'll be pretty anyway, and they'll be made out of wood. So anyway, it looks like the chance of rain is diminishing from what I can see, because that's north that way. It's looking better, but the dark clouds were coming in earlier this morning. So with the hopes that it doesn't rain, I got the rest of the day to work outside and just keep banging away on this thing. So if I can get the wing struts completed and then start the jury struts, you know, we're getting closer to making those doors, because that's the next step. As soon as I'm done with those jury struts, fuse comes back in, then I'm not weather dependent on what I can do. Then I'll build a jig for building the doors and slap those together real quick. I did get the plastic in, the plastic sheeting. I don't know if I told you earlier on, it's PETG, which I've got it in 30 thousandths and 40 thousandths. 2 foot by 4 foot sheets out of Amazon, and PETG is you can use that to actually vacuum mold plastics. So it's not what I'm planning on doing, but it's supposedly non-yellowing acetate on this list right here. Over time, yellows. So I'm just going to go with you know, we'll see how the PET works, and if it works nice, that's what we're going with, because you know, it's still 40 bucks for it, but it's thick enough, and if it doesn't yellow and I don't crash, it's good as gold. So anyway, all right, let me get the other ones drilled. You know what, I'll flip that over and I'll just let you know, because you don't really need to see it, just as long as it works for me and you believe me. You fools. If you believe me, then everything's true from one side to the other. All right, on the wings, on the struts, I got everything set up. I got to think about this as I'm going. I've got everything set up on the right wing. So when I move the wing strut over to the other side, it's discovered it's about 3/16. It needs to be 3/16 of an inch shorter. Everything else works good. What I did do, and I don't know if I told you, I went in and I've got them dotted on the top. What I did is went in and brought these down to 10 degrees. That's for the front, the leading edge strut, and then the trailing edge one is at 13 degrees or 12 degrees. So it's, you know, they fit good. So that's make me happy. So anyway, what I need to do when I took measurements, it's not the wing, it's not the length of the wing, it's not the length of the brackets on the wing, it's the fuselage that creates a difference. What it is one side of the fuselage, there's probably about the way it tapers up, it's about 1/4 of an inch on one side, and it's about, I want to say it's pretty close to 7/16 of an inch farther. So you got 1 1/4 and 1 7/16. It's something you're not going to see, although now you know you're going to look for it. So stop looking. All right. So so what I need to do is I need to drop stuff on the floor too. I need to make an exact copy of this, but it's going to be that little 3/16 of an inch shorter. So if I keep smacking stuff with this, we might have a light show, as in the light's going to burst. All right, so what I'm going to do a speedy up video. I'm going to go ahead and make all the marks that I need to make, cut them, slice it. I got to get a piece of brass out so I can make this little brass piece. I thought I made 2 of them, but I don't see the other one, so I'm just going to assume that I didn't make 2 of them. But I'm going to go ahead and make another one of these things, and then I'll just start building and get it done. So let's get ready to rock. Speed it up. Alright, let's get back to some kind of more natural glowing light around my head. Alright, this one's done. I mean, it's all I gotta do is just wait, do a little bit of shaving, dressing up. I gotta grind. I'm gonna go out and make sure I'm grinding the right side. I've got to put a little 45-degree angle either on this side or this side. I don't know which side till I put it on the plane. I think it's going to be this side, the top of, because it should theoretically this should be the top, unless I'm wrong, because I can be. I have been in the past. Anyway, like the last video. Anyway, yeah, this one's about ready to the epoxy on this joint's pretty good. I'm waiting for the epoxy to set up on that brass rod that I put through, so that way this is set up, and then once again I super glued Fixie some geez, I want to say balsa, but it's not. It's bamboo. Another fast growing tree, different part of the world. Alright, so anyway, so anyway, this will just all be shaved down. I'll file those off. I'm not too worried about that, but my whole thing is I want to get these holes drilled through here on both of them and mount it on and get the wing set up and level, just to see how it looks and how strong it's going to seem, because I don't have the jury struts in yet, but that's no big deal. I can work on that. And there was that one little wing warpage that I saw on the left wing, and I think that warpage was so minuscule, and you can very easily rotate it with your hand. So when it came time for me to cover, I could take care of that when I'm heating up the fabric, because that's going to shrink. And once that stuff shrinks, it doesn't expand and contract like the Mylar ones, like from, you know, coverall. I'm not coverall, ultra coat. I'm going to get it right. I will get it right. I just haven't used it in such a long time. The monocoat and I think it's ultra coat. Anyway, so once mine's all put together, it's not going to move. You can make it move if you want to, which we found out. But I plan on having it straight before I paint it, because until you paint it, you can make any changes you need. Once you paint it, you can still do it. We tested it on Roger, another friend of mine. Yeah, I do have more than one or two friends. It was on his Newport, and had one of the lower wings had a little bit of a twist in it, and I suggested give it a shot. He gave it a shot, and it worked. So at least I know that it can be done. So that's the important part. So anyway, that's about it for this. As soon as I get this dressed up and I get everything attached to the get the wings back on the fuse and get everything adjusted, I'll bring it back in. I know you can't wait, but it's going to only be about 2 seconds. Hey everybody, 7:30 at night on Saturday. I forgot all about you. I got the plane. I was starting to tear that whole plane back apart again. I got the struts on. I'm going to take you out and see them. But I got the struts on. Everything's leveled out to where I wanted to. It was a whole lot of fudging around just to get everything set up so that to me it was acceptable. And what's going to come up Thursday is going to be the jury struts. So I got to get the jury struts done, so hopefully I can get the jury struts done on Thursday, and then this is all wishful thinking, and then Saturday start the doors. So humans are free to dream. We're free to dream. Hang on, let me take you off, and then we'll go out and we'll take a quick little look. I've been fighting the threat of rain all day. Clouds kept rolling in. I had to keep moving stuff inside, stuff outside. A couple little sprinkles, but that was about it. And then, as you can see, well, there's a little bit of blue sky up there, right there. So anyway, here's where we're at. The struts are installed. Let me see if I can back out far enough so you can see the whole thing. But the struts are all installed. And the wing, as we see, is pretty much dead on level, which was the way that they had this set up for the plane. Now, just so you get the bird's eye view, we're going to take a little walk up here. Watch out for the snail. You back up without falling down. But here's the bird's eye view of the plane from the top. And just as a point of reference, that table is 6 feet long. So just goes to show you how big that plane is once you throw the wings on it. And the wings themselves are clipped. So you could probably add about another, I don't know, probably another 2 feet to that wingspan, because right now it's 112 and a half, 113 inches, so it's, 9.5 feet. The thing should be, pushing around 11, if not a little bit more if it was full. But anyway, so this is good to go. Here's the mounts. Everything's properly mounted up with those new little screw-in things, the bolts that go into the screw-in things. This one was an easy setup. This one was a bunch of fudging. I still have a little bit more to do on it. This side was the one that ended up being shorter by about 3/16 of an inch. This side was shorter. The distance from here to the root rib, actually up to this part here to the fuse, was the same. So this is the same distance out. Where the issue comes in is the angle. This side, if you come from the bottom of the wing straight down with a square, it's about excuse me, I gotta think about this one. This is about 1/4 of an inch. So let me point it down so you can see it. This is 1/4 of an inch off of the root rib coming down. This side over here is 7/16 of an inch. There's your 3/16. So it's got to be the curvature of this side when they originally built it. It's in there and it's going to stay. So I mean, it's something when you look at it, you can't see it. You can't see it from side to side, but I mean, I know it's there. It's not going to affect the plane at all. This one's not going to be a concourse plane. I'm not going to take it in to try to win any attaboys for it. I just want to go up and fly it. And just have fun with it. So anyway, yeah, that was a long day. A lot of running in and out of that place to this place and back and forth. So all right, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. And I don't know if you can see. You can't really see. Everything's true to the tail. I wanted to make sure that the horizontal stabilizer and the wings were true to each other, and they are. So that's that makes me happy. So I'm going to throw all this stuff back in the garage, and it's 7:30. I got to go grab some food real quick. Just be a light snack for dinner tonight, and then back to work tomorrow. So anyway, see you on Thursday. Later.